explores the complexities of relationships from the female and male perspectives. I can't acknowledge gifts during the show, but they are greatly appreciated. The top gifter at 11 p.m. will get a flyer for IG. We follow featured show rules, so no cursing, no smoking, no drinking, no derogatory comments. If you don't have me faved already, you can hit that star and also hit that star for my guests as well. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my trusted co-host, Class Swim, who's going to help navigate the conversation. So, Class, if you want to go ahead and request the box.
All the permissions. Do you want them to use your camera? Well, yeah, I'm requesting the box. Do you want them? Well, yeah, I want them to hear me. So I was like, yes, yes. Hey guys.
How are you doing tonight, Class?
You know, it's been a day, but I'm good because I'm here for the conversation. I feel like this conversation is gonna transport us back to high school because I ain't friend zoned anybody in a really long time.
I feel you on that one. So tonight we're going to be discussing the friend zone. The friend zone is a relational concept that describes a situation where one person wants a romantic or sexual relationship with a friend, but the other person does not. So just to get the audience talking, how many have you been in the friend zone? Put a 1 in the comments if you've been in the friend zone.
Well, at what point in our lives? Because I feel like we've all been in the friend zone at some point in our life.
At any point in your life, have you been in the friend zone?
At any juncture. We're talking freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year, 40-year-old year.
Last year, yesterday, last week.
Right now.
All right. So for the next question, how many have put somebody in the friend zone? Put a 1 in the comments.
How many of you have taken your power back and said, I don't want you? You're better off over there.
Oh, it looks like, well, Miss Ma'am is the only one that's friend zoned somebody.
Melba, you never friend zoned somebody? Flirty Danny, you've never no, you haven't friend you put an actual 0.
Well, we're gonna hear from Flirty Danny in a little bit, so we don't want him to answer too many questions down there. Like we want to make sure to save his questions for later. So I have put somebody in the friend zone.
Silly, does it count to put yourself in the friend zone?
But it was a long time ago. Does it count to put yourself in the friend zone? But so okay, so Tilly, why would you put yourself in the friend zone? Did you think of that? Like, why? What makes it so that you're always going to be in the friend zone with Amish Deadshot? I'm sorry. Okay.
Deadshot. Understand being in
Amish
the friend
is
zone
in a relationship. Oh, now he's coming in here as well.
Top gift, they're coming through.
So I kind of feel like you were saying earlier that this is more of a like what we did back in high school kind of thing. But one thing I've noticed, especially as of late, this app kind of reminds me of high school. Mm-hmm. So I think everybody in their own right is still in that like mindset of like, this is what's okay. You know, in my mind, it's not necessarily like friend zoning you or friend zoning somebody. It's, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. Like, I mean, it's not like friend zone, like, I just want to be friends with you. It's like, I want to, like when you meet that person that you want to know, like, you want to get to know and explore things with, you should be able to voice to that person, like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. What are you looking for? Like if I'm like falling in love with my best friend, like there's a problem. You know what I mean?
Is it
And
a problem though?
I don't know if okay, so it's not really a problem, but like
Oh,
if I'm falling in love with my best friend, I would tell them I'm falling in love with them. You know what I mean? Like to me, like I would want them to know
it
how I
might take you a
feel.
while though, because of multiple things that we'll talk about during the show.
Yes, we will. We
Right.
will
Like
definitely talk
it
about such
will,
things.
like you might be scared to tell your best friend that you're falling for them. But also, I think that we can explore the option of friend zone being, can you be my friend or can you not?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, can you be my
Especially
friend or can you not?
like when you tell said person that you want to be in a relationship with them and they say it's not going to happen, how does that affect your relationship?
Yeah.
Personally, I think it would make it a little awkward, especially if it was like me that didn't want to be in the relationship. I feel like
100%.
it would be like weird after that. You know what I mean? Like it probably would have been better had you not told me that.
Yeah, like it got weird.
It did. All right. So, do you want to read the quote?
Yes, I was trying to hit up Storm Chaser, but I got the quote right here.
Perfect.
The quote is friend zone. Being in the friend zone is like the moon going around the earth, but the earth is going around the sun. It's like classic avoidance, like, oh, mm.
I liked that quote out of all of the other quotes that I read,
For sure.
because I feel like it's the perfect explanation. Like you're over here and they're over here. Like your world revolves around them, but their world revolves around someone else.
Or
Do
anything
you have
other than you.
exactly? Do you have that video that I sent you?
I do.
Okay. So before we invite our guests into the box, I don't know how many of you know one of our fellow streamers, but one of our fellow streamers, KMB, has a music video entitled Friend Zone. I don't have a second device, so class is going to play that now. And I did get permission to play it, so all you copyright people out there, like, I asked for permission.
Keep talking, keep running your mouth. I might mess around and put you in a friend zone and never look back. Keep talking, you go end up in the friend zone. Mess around and you go end up in the friend zone. Test me, I might never look back. Keep talking, you go end up in the friend zone. Mess around and you go end up in the friend zone. Test me, I might never look back. I must have took the red pill for real. Cause she hot, but I got no chill. And she might think I won't, but I will. And it's right here, yeah, let's step around and find out. On God, I'm the best she ever had. Humble brag, but she fumble in the bag. And I'm about to let the white flag wave. So don't test me when I say, keep talking, keep running your mouth. I might mess around and put you in a friend zone. Keep talking, keep running your mouth. I might mess around and put you in the friend zone and never look back. Keep talking, you go end up in the friend zone. Mess around and you go end up in the friend zone.
right, I think we're good. All right, so
No, I can't stop it.
definitely give a shout out to KMB. I actually asked him to come to the show tonight, but he wasn't able to, so got the next best thing with his song. So if you guys are just now joining us, this is Love Bytes. We're about to bring my guests into the box, or at least one of them into the box to get this conversation started. If you would like to be on a future episode of the show, you can reach out to my admin down there, right there, Mr. Deadshot, or myself on IG, and we can get you on the show. So, Flirty Danny, if you want to go ahead and request the box, and Deadshot, if you want to go ahead and request the box. He's going to fill in until Storm Chaser gets here.
There's a lot of storm chasers out there.
Hello, Danny.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh, we got Deadshot. So we kind of changed up my show a little bit from the format that it used to be. So we're still trying to get the hang of the new format. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask the question, and then we're just gonna go around in the circle. So it'll be, I don't know how your circle is, but my circle is me, Class, Flirty, and Deadshot. So we'll just go in succession and go that way.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Sure.
How is everybody today? Flirty Danny, how are you?
I wouldn't.
See you sniffling and rubbing, and you sick?
I wouldn't be asking that right now. Give me about 48 more hours, please.
So I should get my mask.
Yeah.
Got it. Deadshot, how you feeling?
I'm good day by day, you know.
Hear you. Well, we appreciate you being here for this conversation while I suit up. Here's Casper.
We're all doing the mask thing today because we're not trying to catch whatever Flirty Danny's
Just
got.
kidding. That's what got us through
go.
quarantine. Hey. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
We all got those masks tonight.
I got a whole drawer of them. Who wants one?
All right. So our first question is, what does it mean to be in the friend zone? So to me, what it means to be in the friend zone is I don't want to be in a relationship with you because I'm cool being friends with you. I'm old, so I know that sounds like a lame, boring answer. Maybe 20 years ago it would have been a little bit different, but that's my answer for now.
And you know, we had a pre-show talk, but now that I'm sitting here, what does being friend zone mean to me? Honestly, if I'm legitimately interested in the person, it means that I wasn't enough. And it causes things in my head that I didn't want it to cause, right? Now, there are people that I'm like, yeah, we better off as friends. Like, for sure. But if I'm legitimately interested in that person and I get friend zoned, it has an impact on my mental health. It brings up a lot of insecurities. You know what I mean? But I'm in a relationship and I got lots of friends. So we all good here. Flirty Danny?
Well, I got friend zoned 3 times this week, or the last 2 weeks. So being friend zoned for me is just like, at this point, I'm kind of getting used to it. Just being friends with someone instead of anything else.
Why are you willing to settle for that though? Like, so I guess that's like a spin-off question, because you said I'm kind of getting used to it.
Yeah.
And I'm settling for that, but kind of at the same time, you should think in the sense of like, don't I deserve better?
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm that kind of person that I'm your first choice. I'm not your second or third or, you know, whoever knows like how far I am down the line. If there's other options besides me, go ahead and choose one of those other options because I'm not an option.
Yeah. So I guess it would be just be settling is mainly because some of the guys that try to come after me, um, then they see me one way, and then because of what the process I'm going through, so they see me one way sometimes on heel, and then like a couple days down the line, I'll probably get back on heel as like this right now. So it's not me kind of settling it with it. It's just me because we were starting to talk and I got started catching some feelings. Then they saw me not dressed up, and it's okay. You're friends now.
And I think that speaks to the vulnerability of the mental health, right? Because you're presenting yourself authentically as yourself, and then they're saying, "Me, it's not for me." You get what I'm saying? And it plays a part.
Yep.
And this is the most adult version of friend zoning I can get to. Deadshot, your thoughts?
Well, what was the question? Well,
What does it mean to be in the friend zone?
oh, pretty much what you said, that you're somebody's like second option. Like you put in 100% effort to get someone's attention, and you just kind of get like sidelined. Like you're warming up the bench, just kind of like waiting for your turn. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been in that position many times, uh, with being friend zoned or rejection itself. So I know what it's like to kind of like sit back and watch somebody play the main role when you know you could play that role better, you know? So I just kind of I've always been the bench warmer, man. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, sometimes it's nice over here.
It was
Well, but
cold on the bench sometimes too, right?
but
Sometimes it is.
sometimes
Sometimes
though,
it's cold and lonely. Sometimes
sometimes
it's cold and
you
lonely.
got to
But
be the
sometimes,
bench warmer while that person's figuring out that that person that they're pursuing might not be the person that they're going to end up with.
like,
But
I
then
don't
that
want to be
goes
the
back to you're not the second option.
well. I don't want to
Right.
be that guy
Well,
neither.
but
That
I don't
I'm not a
necessarily think that you're not the second option. It might not be like where you're at right now. You know what I mean? Because
well.
like we all graduated high school how long ago? And we're all back in high school currently on this app most days. So it's kind of like sometimes you got to go back to realize that like, oh, maybe, you know, maybe
So I'm
that
just
was
gonna
the
wait.
better option.
I'm gonna wait for the other questions because I'm sure like if I get too far into detail, it'll probably end up ruining some of the other questions. So I'll just wait and we'll just like kind of keep it moving.
All right.
Well,
We'll
I
keep it.
do, Beard, at this point, I do believe that we should have used the first quote that we explored. I've been friend zoned so much, I know her boyfriend's parents.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
ooh.
I definitely yeah, I still like the quote that we went with, but you know, that's definitely a close
After
second.
reading the room, I feel like we know the boyfriend or girlfriend's parents, or the boyfriend's parents.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I can't think of anybody in my life that I have ever like put in the friend zone and like they're cool with my mom. You know what I mean? Like,
Uh, My ex-girlfriend lived with my mom when I moved to North Carolina, and she still has her mail shipped to my mom's house.
My friend's mom still talks to me, and I got friends on by her, and I was like fiending for this girl. Like I'm talking about fiending, like wanting to be with her. But I'm not a home wrecker, so I just kind of like kept it quiet. I was just like that dude that come over here and cry on this shoulder, you be all right, type thing. But her mom loves me.
When the family gets involved, though, that you're not warming the bench, right? They know what's best for that person. The person just doesn't see it.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Well, because sometimes that's another episode in itself, that whole love is blind thing. Sometimes like your family can see stuff that you can't, because you got your you got your blinders on, and you don't see this person for what they actually are. It's just like when you get up to go to the bathroom, that conversation that's had while you're in the bathroom, like, oh, okay.
Oh,
Or on this app, for instance, you know how people are because you've seen them in other streams. So it's like if you got somebody who's over here talking to Flirty Danny one way, and then he's in another stream talking to Deadshot in that same way, and then you guys get together and are like, "Oh, I've been talking to this girl," and you're like, "Oh, it's the same one." Like,
I'm going through that
see
currently
his
with my
face.
cousin. So
Focus.
No,
I
he just
love you.
said
I
my
love
bad
you.
in the comments. That's why I was like, "You see my face."
I know. That's why I said focus.
All right. So if you're just now joining us, this is Love Bites. We are discussing Friend Zone with Flirty Danny, and my new guest, Deadshot. Um, and we were just talking about what it means to be in the friend zone. If you'd like to be on a future episode of the show, you can hit up my admin right there, Deadshot, or myself on IG. You can even hit up Class Swim, but that's not what she does. She's just my co-host, but she can get in touch with me if you
Yeah,
want all up
you
in
can
there.
hit me up if you really want to.
So yeah. Um,
You got it.
so
You
our
got it.
next question is: have you been put in the friend zone, or did you put someone in the friend zone? Um, so,
Mm.
oh, wait a second. I forgot to read my facts about the last one. My bad. So, ignore that question. It didn't happen. Okay.
Wax on,
Um,
wax on, wax
so
off. Oh,
some facts about being in the friend zone. They suggest to bring friends along. They bring up their crush around you. You're like a brother or sister to them. They take you for granted. They aren't afraid to reveal disgusting habits around you. They deflect your romantic feelings. You cancel plans to accommodate them, but they don't do the same. There's no spark, and they play matchmaker. So, Deadshot, if you're into class and class is always trying to hook you up with other people, take that as a hint that I don't think she's interested. Okay,
yeah.
so now moving on to our next question. Have you been in the friend zone, or did you put somebody in the friend zone? So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with there was a streamer on here, and the whole reason I met him is because he was having relationship issues with an ex, and he got in my box to tell me all about it, and then we just became friends and we started talking every day. And then over time, I'm like I'm like his like shoulder to cry on, and like telling him all this relationship advice, and I'm like, oh, I feel kind of bad for this guy, and then I'm like, oh, I kind of like this guy, and there's, oh, well, you're not my type, kind of like, you're not my type, and he like totally put me in that spot, and I'm like, awesome, I'm not giving you any more relationship advice, how about that? um but then it's funny because once I actually got into a relationship, he stopped talking to me altogether. I just noticed on Snap the other day that he actually unfriended me, and there's a big old X by my name.
Did
And
you
this
lose
is
your Snap score?
oh no, that was Turtle. I have not lost
Okay.
my Snap. Turtle is the only one that I have a Snap score with, and it's
Okay.
like 600 and something. But that's all it is. It's no conversation. It's just a good morning snap, and like that's it. Um, so yeah, it's like 600 and it's almost up to 700. Um,
Crazy.
but he stopped. Like he would always come to me with advice or for advice and tell me all about the people like he's dating and like basically everything going on. I kind of blame myself for that because like I kind of let myself like fall for that. So I don't think it was like completely on him. Um, but that's my story.
So my story is that at the time I didn't realize I was being friend zoned, but I also realized that it's wild. So I was providing all of the personal development, like all of the, hey, she's like, I'm in a rough time in my life. I really want to get to a certain level and all this stuff. So we were emotionally involved. Never intimate, never any of that. But it was like I was traveling the hour and 20 minutes to see her, but she had a disability that she got really exhausted because of her iron and couldn't drive to see me. Right. But I liked her so much that I was driving. Her birthday, she got a matching hoodie and sneakers set. Like I got nothing for my birthday. And then eventually I was like, okay. And this was prior to me being in a relationship. I was like, this is not a two-way street. And so she friend zoned me, but said she only did it because she was working on herself while I was paying her cell phone bill. But I legitimately feel like she was working on herself because now that I'm in a relationship, she's reaching out to me saying, I really wish things would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, keep going on your journey because I'm no longer part of it. I wish the stars would have aligned a little differently. They didn't. And she's now sitting over there in the friend zone going,
What did I do?
Exactly. And it was not just like a 6-month thing. It was because from my engagement, from my fiance until I actually entered into a relationship, it was 5 years. She occupied 2.5 years of those 5 just by an emotional connection, just by us being friends.
Right.
She friend zoned me. I was cool, like whatever, da 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 da. And now that I'm in a relationship, she's like, what did I do?
I think we've all probably had those moments at some time where we're like, oh, why did I say that, or why did I let that person go, or something of that nature. I had somebody who blocked me just this week because he battled me last week during my show, and I didn't accept the battle because it was during my show. And I went to send him a message on Snap, and I'm blocked on like I'm blocked on everything, and I was like, okay. But anytime we did talk, he's like, how are things with you and you know who? And I was like, they're great. And I think he was waiting for they're not great. So he didn't get that great. So he was just like, yeah. But it's okay because going into his stream, he's the same guy he was 2 years ago when I met him. He hasn't developed. He hasn't changed at all.
That's the thing.
And that says a lot right there. Because one thing you do notice too is growth on the app, and negative growth or positive growth. Like I don't know how long all of you have been streaming. I've been on the app for 2 years as of the September 30th. I've been on the app for 2 years. And I'm a much different streamer now than I was when I first came on this app. So like I can see where I started out and where I am now. I like where I am now a lot better. Not gonna lie. But yeah.
Flirty
How about
Dandy,
you?
you ready?
Yeah.
Can you read the question again, Beard?
Have you been in the friend zone or
Bitch,
did
I
you
do.
put someone in the friend zone?
Well, first off, classes read about mine already because I was about to ask to repeat the question. um, I have put a couple guys. I've put thinking about it. I haven't put anyone in the friend zone, but but guys have put me in the friend zone mainly because just everything I'm about.
Yeah.
So it's always over, and then some guys that are identify as gay has put me in the friend zone, and it's always over like the littlest, bittiest thing, like you wear too much makeup. You, I need you to wear more makeup. I need you. I like to see you in a dress. I like to see you in shorts. Oh, and it's just like when it starts intertwining. This is why I only talk to one guy at a time. Because when it starts intertwining too much, I can't keep up with the conversations. Too many people. Yeah. So
Okay, so here's a question for two of the people in the box. Um, you'll know who it is in just a minute. But
It's not you,
is there
dipshit.
is there a difference in the LGBTQ definition of friend zoning
No.
than not? Like, I mean, is it do okay? I don't want to like. Is there more friend zoning for certain reasons as opposed to okay? I don't know. It's in my
Yeah,
head, but
yeah.
it's not
No, let
coming
me
out
let
the
me
way
let
it's
me
supposed
answer
to.
the question. So yeah,
All right, cool. You get
she's
what I'm
not.
trying to say, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. She's not in here,
Okay.
and I can say this. I'm into girls with dreads, black girls with dreads, right? I have a lot of people around me that are like that. That I'm like, she cute, but I friend zone them because I have something deeper at home. You get what I'm saying? And so, yes, there's a lot of friend zoning that happens because there's a community of people, like-minded people that get together and they're like, "Oh, you're really cool." And let's be honest, let's be honest, right? It's a very small circle. Like we all intertwine, everybody gets together. Like when I was in college and I went to college in a small town, if you did what you did was so like you Netflix and chilled at the frat house with somebody, they Netflix and chilled the previous weekend with somebody else, and now y'all best friends. Like it's weird, right? And then
Right.
but at the same time, I do feel like there's a lot of friend zoning, but in my world, it's for the right reasons. Flirty Danny, I would like to say to you, at what point are you going to put yourself first and not worry about the makeup, the dresses, and the shorts?
yeah, I already have put myself first in stuff that's. I don't listen to a lot of opinions guys give me. I just kind of like, okay, I guess like like as soon as they start nitpicking as we're talking, like just as we're talking, not even going out on a date yet. As soon as they start nitpicking, is usually when I usually get friend zoned because I'm not willing to change for them, just for myself.
Imagine the power in you friend zoning them because they don't accept you for who you are. Meet me where I'm at. Sorry, like the crossing guard with the stop sign. Like, don't take you got friend zoned to your heart. I need you to stand up with the that sash that says I'm a safety or a crossing guard or whatever, that stupid nerdy thing that we got when we were in high school.
Yeah.
You're probably too young, but like stand up with your own stop sign and be like, no, You don't love me for who I am. You can't be part of my world.
Yes. And I mean, I kind of need to stay in the LGBTQIA plus community
Oh, A, B,
instead
C,
of,
D, E, F, G.
instead of uh, venturing out to the other community or the other side of the fence that I shouldn't be at right now. Like, not right now, give me a couple years. Um, yeah, because it gets a little shaky if I'm hopping on the fence. So I kind of just need to take time for myself too, and just kind of just put like dating aside until everything is done.
It's time for
And
you
you
to
know
friend
what?
zone people.
I agree 100% with everything you just said, especially the putting it aside and waiting for it to happen. Because I noticed when I first got on this app, I came on this app to look for love like everybody else did when they first came on, at least over on POF. I know some of you are on Meet Me, and that's like, Meet Me is all about friend, whatever. But like a good majority of us were here looking for love. And that's exactly what I was focused on when I was here, like when I first started streaming. And it didn't go anywhere with most of those people that I thought I was gonna like end up with at some point in time. And then when I stopped looking, I met this guy. And then he tried to friend zone me, and I was like, what the really? Okay, okay. It didn't it only lasted for 3 days though. Because you know,
What's
and
crazy is
end
that the
of that
girl.
story.
That's why I interjected. The girl I was telling you about that I was driving the hour and 20 minutes or whatever, I met her on POF. Pre-live. So we're talking 2019. My engagement has just broken up. She cheated on me. Not she, the girl I'm talking about, but my ex-fiance, whatever. And I got back on POF, like, and I just was like, oh, there's a dating site. I forgot that I used the thing when I was like 20, right? Y'all, Class Swim comes from when I was 20. Like, I logged back in and I was like, well, I guess that's my name. That's it. Like, but yeah, she's from 2019, pre-live. And so it's interesting that like our connection has nothing to do with the live community, and she doesn't stay up late enough to catch me live, but she constantly wants to be part of this community. It's really wild.
All right, Deadshot, we're moving on to you, my guy.
Read the
Have you
question
been in
again.
the friend zone or did you put somebody in the friend zone?
You know what? I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I think just because of the way that I am, a lot of people tell me that I might come off flirtatious, just the way that I talk to people. Like me, I've always been a person that I always put others people's emotions and feelings in front of my own. So maybe the way I come off might seem flirtatious. And I always tell people ahead of time, like, yo, the one, I've done the long distance relationship. It didn't work. Now, I wouldn't mind traveling if I really got to know the person. I wouldn't mind traveling to go see that person, see if there's a vibe, and then maybe we can, work something out.
There
But
is not a vibe in Virginia. Just know that, okay?
not a vibe in Virginia. I,
No,
I
no
still
matter
love
what
you,
he
Amish.
says, there
I
is
love you,
no
Amish. I
vibe
don't
in
care what you say.
Virginia.
Deadshot, focus.
Yeah. So we so I think I have put a bunch of people like on the friend zone because I feel like I would rather keep them as a good friend than to try to be in a relationship and kind of ruin that. So I even done that with a friend that I have here. I love her to death. I've known her for going on like 8 years. Now there was one time where we got drunk and we kissed, but it was a mistake. And we both as adults, we kind of like recognized it that we were drunk, we were both alone, we were in our fields, and the kiss happened, and that's it. Nothing else happened. But do I love her to death? Yeah. Would I take a bullet for her? Yeah, all day. Like I love her, and like I see her daughter as my daughter. Like I even help her, like kind of like raise her a little bit, So that's what I'm afraid of, to start something and end up ruining that great friendship. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I have put plenty of them, and I have been put on the friend zone plenty of times. Jesus, I think I gotta look somewhere who friend zone me. Like it's cool when I'm in a relationship. Don't be in my Snapchat and in my DMs like, oh, I see you got a boo boo now. Like that's right, girl, and you ain't it. Bye.
Right. It's funny the people that come out of the woodworks when you're happy in a relationship.
I'm guilty.
And that's my baby mama. As soon as I get into a relationship, go ahead, class.
No, what's going to happen as soon as you get in a relationship?
My baby mama starts tripping. She starts, oh, I still love you, Why don't you come over and come see me and the kids?
You my everything.
Yeah,
I've had to deal with a couple of baby mamas. Yep.
So some ways that that you've been put in the friend zone is avoiding love topics and conversations. It's a sign that your friend only views you as a platonic companion if your conversations are limited to mundane topics. Lack of flirting. It may be a sign that your love sentiments are not reciprocated if you find that your attempts at fun banter and compliments are regarded with disinterest. Lack of physical attraction. Your acquaintance might not think of you as a suitable romantic partner if you exhibit little to no desire for physical closeness, such as embracing in any way or holding hands. Limited involvement in future plans. That's the one that kind of caught my attention. When someone is interested in a relationship, they consider this person in future plans. When you're not in those future plans, you should think about that. And then lastly, we have the absence of jealousy. Jealousy can indicate emotional investment. If your friend doesn't express any form of jealousy or worry when you bring up other potential romantic interests, they are usually not interested. And if you're just now joining us, this is Love Bytes. We've been talking about Friend Zone with Flirty Danny, Deadshot, and the lovely Class Swim up here. We were just talking about whether or not we've been put in the friend zone or if we've friend zoned somebody. If you'd like to be on a future episode of the show, you can reach out to Deadshot or myself on IG, or Class Swim. Basically anybody to get in touch with me, but I'm usually everywhere. So, yeah.
So the facts that you just read really made my skull hit, it made my brain hit my skull. I'm not even gonna hold you. It made my brain hit my skull because she wanted me to move to North Carolina with her. She wanted to get out of Jersey. She wanted me to be with her. She did all of these things. Wait, that messed me up. Double shot. I was like, Deadshot, get in there. But that's double shot.
That's what I was just thinking.
Anyway, everything that you read wasn't true. She wasn't friend zoning me until I friend zoned her. And now I'm the one that's like, oh, y'all look so cute.
Okay, is that you, Deadshot?
It is.
Because you're looking down right now.
Oh, I'm looking at my Instagram.
He's a liar. He's a bad liar. That's how you know you can trust Deadshot. He's a bad liar.
I don't even know who that is. I know how to spell double. That says double.
Double. You French.
It's French.
Double.
We
It's
will.
Fred, but
Exactly.
hey, he gave me a gift. I don't care.
Anyway, go ahead with the next question.
All right. So our last question is, what are some reasons to put somebody in the friend zone? For me, it's either I'm just not I don't see it going anywhere, or I'm already in a relationship with somebody. Cuz you can kind of tell when you're with that person like how you get along with people. I usually get along with people very easily. So if there's like weirdness between us, it's because there's some like sort of like somebody's made that like known. You know what I mean? Like when you're just not into somebody. But like I feel like you can have those friendships, and everybody likes to have friends. I want to have that person that I can call when something has happened, or to tell them about my day, whether it's a man or a woman. You know, but like knowing that you feel some type of way is going to limit those conversations that we have. You know what I mean? Like if I feel that like you've caught feelings for me, or you're catching feelings for me, and I'm with somebody, I'm gonna take a step back from that.
It heightens the pressure and it
Right,
devalues the friendship.
right. And I would rather keep people as friends and not lose them as friends. Well, depending on who they are, I'm okay with losing. Um, but I would rather keep them as friends, just like with this one, with the whole like it's not going to work out. I was like, okay, well, you know what? It's fine if things aren't going to work out, but I want you in my life in some way, shape, or form. So even if it doesn't work out romantically, I still do want to be friends with you. And look how that ended up. But
And
yeah,
my story's a little different, right? I send those little shots like, "Oh, y'all are so cute." I thought it was her sister. It was her girlfriend. She messages me and she says, "Yeah, it was cute and all, but it ain't for me." And the next day they broke up and the girl was all off of the Instagram and we couldn't find her or whatever. Now the next post she posted was her actual sister. And I was confused. I was real confused. Then she posts something and I was like, "Oh, we used to do that together." And she's like, "I'm so sorry that I used my freedom of speech to post something that I actually feel like," she got angry at me. And I was just like, "Oh, we used to do that." And she was just like, "Bah." Oh, somebody's mad. Somebody's mad, mad.
Someone's big bad. Big bad, little bad.
Big man.
all right. So Danny, what are some reasons to put somebody in the friend zone?
Well, the reason why I was just on my phone, I was pulling up the one guy, how he friended me this week, so I was reading through that real fast. But I guess some of the reasons are just like they want to, like you said, keep them in your life. For me, some of these guys I meet and off the app, whether I'm walking through the grocery store or just going down the street and they want to friend zone me, it's just like they're lonely. For me, it's a couple of them that I know are just lonely. They don't know about the site. I introduced a couple of my people off the app into this site. My and they just don't have no place where they can like express themselves because they have the kids 24/7, or and like the baby mama is not really can't be involved right now. It's that's a big thing in my area. Um, so they just need to they just don't know how to express themselves, or I just don't like being looked at as a fantasy. And that usually that doesn't even friend zone me, that goes straight for them to block me. So it's between those two for me. Like,
Oh, bye, bye, Kaio.
Bye bye. Have a good night.
Kumbaya, meow.
All right, Deadshot, how about you? What are some reasons to put somebody in the friend zone?
Honestly, I kind of agree with Flirty Danny. Like, you want them around, but not in that way. Like, you don't want to lose them. It's kind of like a two-way street. It's like sometimes it could be like you don't want to lose them, but if you kind of don't, you're gonna lose them, kind of deal. So you kind of gotta like sit there and really like pick your words when it comes to friend zoning somebody. I guess it's kind of like the whole "it's not you, it's me" type of thing. It's not really like that line's been like I think overplayed. But it's just for me. I think for me is the fact of I'm already alone, but the fact of losing that person and being more alone, you know. So that's like, what's that guy's name from Lincoln Park, the one that passed away? He said that
That's fair.
a person that's alone with the thoughts is never a good place. So I always got to have somebody to reach out to if it's not my homegirl that lives here, if it's not like Dreammaker or Beard, or even sometimes like I talk to class or just a bunch of people that are like on the app that I can really reach out to and they kind of understand me, but it's just the fact of being alone and it has nothing to do with like being in a relationship with somebody because like my first purpose of being on this app was I was looking for friends with benefits first coming on here. Now my purpose of being on here is actually meeting genuine people and kind of getting to know them because everybody has a story, you know. So I feel like I've grown on this app for different purposes. Now it's just not going around, just hey, hey, you want to do it? Hey, you want to do it? Now it's more like, how you doing? Tell me about you. Get to know me, and I'm gonna get to know you.
And you just said something
Is this
super.
is this a huggy moment here, class? I feel like it's a huggy moment.
No, shh. Just let me. These are class's final thoughts because we're at. And you're normally like 10:55. Gotta go. I'm
Okay,
just
well,
thinking.
hold on to your final thought then. So the facts I have for this one, and then we're gonna get into our final thought, is avoiding some reasons why you put people in the friend zone, avoiding rejection, waiting too long, emotional mismatch, and not getting your needs met. So it is that time of the show that we're gonna start wrapping it up. We didn't start until about 10:05, so we're gonna go to 11:05. Because yeah, and I'm not featured, so there we go. So my final thoughts on the subject are: it's okay to be friends. If a friendship is meant to develop into a relationship, it'll happen naturally. Class.
Nope.
So I'm gonna be completely honest and say when this topic came across, I was just like, "This is so high school, right?"
She did when we were having our phone conversation before that. She's like, "Why are we talking about this tonight?"
I was like, "This is dumb." Like I haven't friends because as you grow as a human, right? You know what you will tolerate and what you won't. And I challenge both of you. They're just like, oh god, here she goes. Now he's
Okay.
talking to somebody else.
Come on.
So I challenge both of you to realize that while you say you got friend zoned, at what point are you allowing them to take so much from you that it's messing with your own personal development, right? So yeah, I'm willing to be friends with you because I love you and this, that, and the other thing. But what are they pouring into your cup? What are they actually contributing to your life to be friend zoned? Are they reciprocating the friendship? Is the friendship genuine? Are they authentic? Just as much as you're authentic, are they authentic? Like your friends, Flirty Danny, 4 in the last week could have been truncated by you taking yourself seriously and being like, I'm not handling I'm not dealing with you. I'm not dealing with all your emotions. I'm not dealing with your not accepting me. Like I'm important. I'm number one. And if you can't accept me for who I am, you don't even deserve to be a friend. That's my final thought.
So, my final thought about this, I would say, is like I just a couple years ago, um, I had to realize that people come on this app forced off looking for dating. I wasn't that person. I wasn't looking for dating when I came on here. I was for I was actually referred here by Zan, and she brought me onto the site and showed me. At that time I was living close to her, so I got to watch her live stream when I was drinking one night with her, and then it just became onto this. So I came on here just for the live streaming aspect, just to start off a fan base with my social media on all accounts and go up from there. And so I have to realize that other people are looking for dating and stuff on here, and I'm always the one to make the first move, especially if I see a profile that says like zero of the star buttons. If they just do a new profile, I'm like, ooh, fresh meat, let's go. So I live up to my name on this app way too much than I should, and I just need to kind of. It's me actually saying I need to stop this soon, soon because I'm always the one doing the first moves. I don't give them a chance to do it, and that's how come I get friends with so much.
And you know what? It's nice when that's how it is, and then somebody finally pursues you. But at the same time, you're so used to being the one who pursues somebody that sometimes you miss it.
And you lose yourself at the same time trying to pursue.
Deadshot, final thoughts.
I love you, Danny.
Um, just what I've pretty much learned is never devalue yourself. Like you know what you're worth, and don't put yourself out there too much. Like if you're gonna if you're gonna go all in, go all in. If you're not, then just kind of like you're gonna be like looking through the looking glass. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be watching your happiness kind of like slip away. You know? Yeah.
All right. I'd like to thank all of my guests and my co hosts for another amazing conversation on the Friend Zone. Next week, we're going to be discussing Do Opposites Attract? If you would like to be a guest, again, reach out to myself or Deadshot. We don't have guests for next week yet. So that's just like the topic that I have down for next week, but it might change between
Maybe
now
it
and
could
then.
just be the admins.
Um, that might work too. But